During a practice session, Marquez was preparing to pass the rider ahead, but the rider ahead had no idea he was there, and then disaster struck. The unlucky rider tumbled several times after the collision and was unable to get back up for a long time. Given what had happened, the rider responsible for the crash naturally could not escape punishment, and shortly after, race officials decided to move Marquez's grid position from second all the way down to 33rd, the very back of the grid, and that decision completely changed Marquez's plans. As the reigning world champion, Marquez had already confirmed that after 13 years, he would join the Honda factory team for the GP season, and this race was set to be his final MotoGP race. To give his time in the second class a perfect ending, he had given everything in qualifying to secure second on the grid, but all of that disappeared because of one reckless overtake. Starting from the back meant facing a massive field, and the Valencia circuit was famous for being extremely difficult to pass at. To pass 32 riders and still win was almost an impossible task, facing a situation with almost no chance. The team even urged him to give up the idea and focus on the test the following week.
The most important is the test Tuesday with MotoGP now.
We've told Mark to keep calm. We don't really know if he's been listening.
But for Marquez, he wanted more than just a perfect farewell. He wanted the determination to fight for victory in every single race.
No real risks today then. Looking forward to the test.
This is I explained to Mark, but Mark is Mark, and sure if he has a good feeling on the bike, sure he do better.
With every rider finally in position, Marquez arrived at his 33rd place on the grid. And with Marquez this hungry for a win, everyone knew a wild race was about to begin.
So here we go. Final round of the Moto2 World Championship.
After a brief rain shower earlier, every rider was carefully testing the limits of the track after the start, but Marquez was pushing flat out on this treacherously unpredictable circuit, and as the opening lap ended, a shocking sight appeared on the timing screens. The name that had started dead last was suddenly sitting in 11th place. A rise that looked almost like a rocket launch left everyone wondering, how did he do that? And the replay that followed showed us exactly what Marquez had pulled off at the start.
Back of the grid, Marc Marquez, Valencia. This is the way to start a Grand Prix motorcycle race. What an amazing start from Marc Marquez.
And he's trying to weave through, heading up for...
Look at the people, he's already overtaken.
Yeah, he's up in... Marc Marquez has already made up 10, 11 positions or so. Amazing how look how he's threading it through some of the gaps he's gone through. Absolutely superb. And you see he was helped by a couple of riders there with Bradley Smith pushing some wide. What a first few corners. He's already up to that 13th position there. And just threading his way through.
When you're watching that, maybe he doesn't need to learn anything.
No, yeah, so that's superb.
It is a nice fruit butter, isn't it? The troop of Randy Krummenacher. Amazing first lap from Marc Marquez.
仅仅不到一圈，马奎斯便从令人绝望的垫底位置绝处逢生。
But he was not done yet. On the next lap, Marquez kept charging, first passing Kallio at turn 6, then quietly moving into 9th off camera. But then Marquez's attack suddenly slowed down. With no rain for quite some time, a dry racing line was starting to appear, and in the midfield, a huge group of riders had formed. Trying to pick them off one by one would only destroy his tires. So for the next 5 laps, Marquez stayed behind the riders ahead, waiting for his chance. Then at the start of lap 8, the 3 riders ahead began fighting hard, and Marquez, the opportunistic chaser, quickly showed his hand.
Here they come 3 abreast. Dominic and Goethe on the brakes, go through. Can he make it stick? It's Marc Marquez at the back of the group. That was some move by Dominic and Goethe. Gino Reyes runs it a bit wide.
The fact though that Goethe forced it in so much meant he didn't have the exit speed there. Big moment for Ria though, who missed out on the dry area of track. All the others seemed to hit as they went into the corner. There are some dry patches on this circuit now.
And here comes Marc Marquez up the inside of Tom Luthi. You remember that final lap in Qatar? It's like a long time ago, that opening Grand Prix of the year. Marquez went on to win. Luthi was absolutely furious.
And just after Marquez passed 2 riders to move into 7, light rain started falling again, and for the riders on track, that was both good news and bad news. A little rain could cool the track and reduce tire wear, but it also meant a much more slippery surface, and a much higher risk of crashing. And moments later, as if to prove just how dangerous the track had become, the rider running 4 lost the rear and slid off the track.
Espargaro has gone.
And it still was not over. On lap 11, another rider ahead of Marquez had an incident and was out of the race.
Simeon at the Duan corner, that just upset Ria a little bit, and Xavier Simeon was in 3rd place.
With those 2 incidents, Marquez suddenly climbed into 5th without much effort, and suddenly the win looked possible again. But because of the earlier battles, the race leader Simon was already nearly 10 seconds ahead, and then another collision made that gap even bigger.
Very, very difficult indeed. And Gino Ria there, very, very wide. And because Marquez was round the outside of him, it forced Marquez to sit up.
After that contact, Marquez lost even more ground, and when the team saw it, they could not hide their concern. They immediately signaled to him, trying to get Marquez to calm down. But for a young Marquez, nothing could stop him from chasing that pure desire to win. Less than a lap later, he regrouped, quickly closed the gap ahead, and launched another attack.
Can't help himself, Marquez.
Here he comes again, look, there he is.
Yeah.
In that corner, that's where he had the incident with Cerrone Corsi earlier on this weekend. That meant he started from the back of the grid, but now he's into fourth place.
With 13 laps to go, he kept the momentum going on the long straight and targeted third place.
This race is far from over. It's a long way to go.
Whoa!
Oh, Marquez hit the button.
And Gertz are both touched in there. Wow, they've done amazing to hang on.
That frightening near collision sent Marquez's heart rate soaring to 200 and left everyone in the pit lane stunned. The team had already told Marquez several times to stay measured, but Marquez was still Marquez. He was willing to give everything for the win. After raising a hand to apologize to the rider behind, he immediately kept pushing toward his ultimate goal. Only 2 rivals remained ahead of Marquez, and with every lap he pushed harder. The huge 7-second gap slowly disappeared as he kept setting the fastest laps. Finally, with 8 laps to go, second-placed rider Taro was now within Marquez's reach. And as worried eyes watched from the rival pit lane, Marquez struck decisively, launching his second-to-last attack of the race.
He's not going to be shy about this one, is he?
Wow.
He's on a different level here now.
After that aggressive overtake, Marquez finally returned to second place where he had started with just 7 laps left, and the gap to race leader Simon was still 5 seconds. Maybe 5 seconds would be an enormous gap for anyone else, but for Marquez, who had overcome almost every obstacle and was now 1 step from a miracle, as long as he was still on the bike, the word impossible simply did not exist.
Marquez, he wants to sign off with a victory, and he thinks it's possible.
It is possible, and you've got to say, I think only possible from one man, and you're watching him in action at the moment. Love him or hate him, you've got to admire him all the time.
And he can see him. He's like a rabbit in the distance, isn't he? Or a fox being hunted by the hound. So he needs to do it, get a wriggle on, because he's about to become dinner for Marc Marquez, I think. Simon looks behind and just must think,
oh, way up. If there's the orange one.
Not Simon, he's trying. He's just set his personal best lap of the race. It's just that Marquez was 9/10 quicker.
Marc Marquez is going to make his move with 2 laps to go.
Just eases past Simon. And he takes the lead in the Valencian Grand Prix, the final round. Marc Marquez will win his 9th race of the season, but he started from the back of the grid. What a ride by the world champion. The team are delighted, all stood on pit wall. What a brilliant performance.
After a penalty that seemed almost impossible to overcome, Marquez completed an unbelievable comeback to close out his final MotoGP race. After this race, almost everyone believed he would one day become a GP world champion, but perhaps no one could have imagined back then that this rookie heading into the spotlight would shake up the stacked GP grid in his very first season.